Project Sapient is a podcast meant to engage our brothers and sisters in the law enforcement and military communities in conversations that we all know we need to have. All opinions you'll hear are our own, are protected by our First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and in no way reflect or are meant to reflect the opinion of any specific agency, officer, or service member. Some opinions may be controversial. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow.
Do you like my shirt?
I love it.
What do you think about the OODA loop?
I love the OODA loop.
My favorite is fucking purple.
Purple.
Are you judging?
Listen, there was one episode we did in the past that you had some sheer hatred towards the color purple.
I am fucking changing. I have changed.
Oh, all right. So Pete is a changed man.
Look at this judgment
now.
bullshit.
I'm sorry. Do you need to go to your safe place?
I actually have a very nice safe space. Listen, our sponsors need to be mentioned.
Go ahead.
HavokJournal.com, GymJunkies.com, VectorShields.com, WellnessForWarriors.live, LiveBoston617.org. We love you guys. Thank you. So, what are we doing this week?
Oh, this week we are going to talk about one of my articles I wrote that was published on Havok Journal.
Yes, I have to go here.
Yes, and it is called...
It's called...
The Devil Convinced the World He Doesn't Exist.
So I like this. I like this article a lot. I read it probably a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the saying.
Yeah.
The greatest trick the devil ever played was convince the world he didn't exist.
And this article, in my opinion, he did convince him.
Talk to me.
So, the way I think about it is this. Just like in the article, us as law enforcement, we respond to all sorts of different calls all the time, or even initiate proactive policing and do proactive policing out there. And, we've seen it 1,000 or heard it 1,000 times or even gone to these types of calls where somebody calls about a suspicious person.
Okay.
You go, you engage this male through conversation, and during the course of investigation, you learn that he or she got multiple felony warrants.
Okay.
All right.
Very common.
Very common. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Another officer arrives at backup because that's just the way we do it. If, we're going to put handcuffs on someone, it's a lot safer, a lot better.
Of course.
To do it with two.
Of course.
But all of a sudden turns into a violent struggle.
More often than not.
Yeah. You are fighting to the ground. And then the suspect either has a weapon or tries to take your gun out of your holster because you're ground fighting, basically, on the ground, trying to get handcuffs on them, whatever. Yep. And you yell to the individual, drop the weapon. Moments later, shot rings out.
Yeesh.
Male subject is lying on the ground, and the officer standing over him. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is not the norm. This is like the extreme situation.
Right.
That... that is a very, very tiny, small percentage, even a tiny, tiny, tiny small percentage to police encounters.
But it happens.
So I'm addressing this extreme scenario.
Yep.
So the shot rings out. All of a sudden, immediately, rioting erupts. Politicians condemn the actions of the officers. The officers are put on trial by the public before the incident is even fully investigated by the agency and outside agency. Because it's not just one agency that investigates. There's always an outside agency that has no stake that will come in and investigate. That's required.
Yep.
Cell phone videos are posted all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, what have you, and we've all seen
it's always the
It's
edited
all,
fucking videos too,
it's
right?
all the 10-second clips or whatever that does not give you the full story.
They don't show him reaching for the firearm.
No.
They don't show him trying to rip it off your fucking belt or anything like that.
No.
It just shows it execution style type of bullshit.
Exactly. And you know, these days, especially with modern social media, how familiar is it? I mean, it's like
it's all over the place. Like I can put up one social media post and then it'll be one after the other after the other.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's bullshit.
It is.
The article we start talking about, let me click on the article here.
Yep.
So moments later, a shot rings out, which is what you were just talking about. The male subject is laying on the ground and the officers are standing over him. Immediately after the incident, rioting erupts. So we already covered that.
Yeah, we already covered that.
So let's go to page 2.
Yes.
Okay. Keep going.
Yep. So again, this sounds all too familiar. Police are no longer seen as the protectors of society. Now they are demonized. They are hated. They are assaulted. They are ambushed, as in we. So we are hated.
Yep.
We are demonized. We are assaulted. We are ambushed.
Yep.
We are no longer the good guys. Now we're the enemy of the state. All of a sudden.
It's funny because we're the enemy of the state, right?
Yeah.
Like this shit happens. People have no idea what the fuck is really going on.
No.
They're rushed to judgment.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about it with lawyers, okay? And I have no problem with lawyers. I have plenty of friends that are lawyers. I have a problem with few, but I have plenty of friends and family that are lawyers, right?
Yes.
Lawyers get to look at things after the fact, just how when we were talking with John Sheft,
Yes.
right? Everything's in the rear view mirror.
Exactly.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yep.
You know, when you bring things up with lawyers, they're always trying to. They have all the time in the fucking world.
Yeah. They can dissect it.
Step by step.
Step by step, exactly.
Right? Now, right or wrong, whatever the officer's done, he didn't have more than a split second.
Usually it is.
Right?
Just a split second.
So the public sees all this bullshit that's being published on social media, and they're instantly making a judgment call.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 110%.
And it's taking 10 seconds for everybody to just jump on the bandwagon, because a lot of people know that they have no clue what we do, and they just jump on it and run with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, between you and me, we've been in this profession over a decade, right?
Yeah,
you know, and
a long time.
And then you talk to more seasoned officers. This is the worst that they tell us this is environment is the worst they've seen it.
Dude, I was saying it to somebody the other day. I said, back in the day, 15 years ago, I would have been. If I had met a teenager, I would have tried to bring them on board.
Oh, yeah.
You know, become a cop.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great job. It's this, it's that, right? Today, I don't talk to people anymore. No. I'm sorry. I am not going to push somebody into this profession. Yeah. People are looking for a way out.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that are like, I'm ready to go?
I think every single one of my close friends that are cops are looking
for a way.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Fully admit it.
Yeah. We all are. Honestly, we all are. You know, because it's not what it was. I mean, we've made great strides over the past couple decades, even longer,
right?
To adjust ourselves to the way society is becoming and all that stuff. Because policing, like I always say, it's a trade craft, right?
Right.
We move along with the times. We're not the way we were in the 30s. We're not the way we were in the 50s. We're not the way we were in the 80s. We're not the way we were in the 90s. Even in the early 2000s,
yeah, man,
we're not the same way these days.
No.
You know?
And people that all they're doing is they're just trying to garner attention for themselves.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean?
They want their 5 minutes of fame.
They want their 5 minutes of fame. They want to get the millions of followers that magically 2 weeks down the line, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
2 weeks down the line, the person that posted that fucking bad video of the bad shoot, which ended up being a good shoot, or good interaction.
Yeah.
2 weeks after they posted, they've gotten their millions of followers, and now they're posting like hey, by the way, look at my product.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's cut the fucking bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's sad, honestly, to see it, to see how, the slow, subtle, systematic dismantling of the profession, of even humanity itself.
Right.
Some extremely violent offenders have been let out of jail at an alarming rate. I mean, how many times have we seen our brothers and sisters deal with the same violent person over and over? And, between even me, even you.
Yeah.
The minute, I mean, shit, it just happened in where I work. This guy, we deal with all the time. He is relentless. He is violent. He is anything that's not tied down, he will steal.
Sounds like me.
Sounds like actually most cops. We're a bunch of seagulls, man. Yeah, exactly. But we arrest, we investigate all this shit, and all of a sudden, some lawyer to judge to probation, whatever, what have you, all of a sudden has this bleeding heart and says, well, we should give them another chance. You look at it, you look at their record, it is 20 pages long with second chances every day of their lives.
Second chances on like violent stuff.
Yeah. How many of our officers in this state have been killed over these violent offenders because they keep getting let out?
Yeah. A ton. One is enough, right?
Yeah.
But there's been a fucking ton. And it's not just this state, it's every state.
No, it's every state. But, just it gets us frustrated because, again, like I always tell people, the civilians and listeners who aren't cops, we don't make the laws, right? Laws are being created by legislators who are supposed to be who are supposed to represent you as the civilian. So when a legislation comes down on some new criminal law or whatever it is because you made your voice heard. So now there's a law for it. Now, let's back that up a second. How many laws do you know that were made on behalf of the public?
Not many.
Yeah, right?
Not many.
Right.
And we talk about it all the time, right? Like about how legislation is being done, especially in a state like Massachusetts, where it's a lot of people that get elected into office, they end up veering away. They think they become leaders.
Yeah. They're not leaders.
That they're not the elected representatives.
You are not politicians. You are elected by the people.
Let's make it clear.
Yeah.
I have politicians that are friends.
Yeah.
Okay. I love them.
Yeah.
But I don't care who you are. Just like I'm a civil servant and you are a civil servant, we're there for the public.
Yeah.
We're not going to impose our will.
No.
Or our opinions. Yeah. You and I have opinions.
Oh, yeah.
Every day we go on the street.
Yeah.
Every day we grab somebody, we have opinions.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we're going to act on them.
No.
Right? And we're going to follow what the people have wanted.
Yep.
Supposedly what the people have wanted.
Well, as I've always said, policing is a reflection of what society is like.
Right.
It's pretty plain and simple. When you have these types of societal problems, it drains the police departments because it just causes a multitude of issues.
Well, that's the thing, man. There's a disconnect.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
There's a disconnect between reality, between what we're seeing on the street and what, again, I bring back the word abstraction.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these politicians are living in like an abstract world.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, let's see what happened with this event. And they'll scroll through it without looking at anything and just make a judgment call. And they say, okay, well, now we need to defund the police.
Yeah, exactly. And it's... We'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Because we've got some stuff to say about that.
We have something to say.
Yeah, I guess we always have something to say, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Go on.
So, these violent offenders that are being let out of jail. To me, these policymakers, lawmakers, judges, lawyers, probation, whatever, they are complicit.
Are you on the second part?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, keep going.
So they are complicit in the release, right? And yes, I said, and yes, it's evil people I'm talking about that are being let out of jail. I'm not talking about freaking petty like traffic offenders or minor shit.
Yep.
I'm talking about some really, really bad people. I could think of child molesters, rapists, child abusers, murderers, frequent violent offenders.
Right.
Others are given so much leeway, and they are given breaks after breaks after breaks. And it just like I told you, and same thing, I'm not talking about traffic offenders. I'm not talking about the soccer mom or dad that are speeding down the road because they forgot the ovens on. That is not who I'm talking about.
Some of them are pretty fucking dangerous. I'm just saying.
I'm
kidding. We're not. Iman's not talking about that.
Listen, Pete, I know you're traffic enforcement.
Hey, no, not anymore.
Your inspection sticker, when someone's expired, your eyes start to twitch, and you're like, I gotta write them up.
Motherfucker, I'm a meter maid now. I do less than the meter maids do, and I am proud of it. You hear me? Proud of it.
Listen, it's okay. It's okay. All right. So
Anything else you want to fucking say? Ask.
So an example that occurred in our neck of the woods, and this is something that I couldn't believe it actually happened because it happened. The sex offender registry in our neck of the woods a few years ago created this policy where if an offender wants to be reclassified, the offender can apply for appeal, which is fine. You have the right to do that. But when the offender applies, they are then removed from the registry and placed in an unclassified status, which does not allow us
to know
and not allows the public to know. So you can have, we'll say level 3, the most violent one. And each level is basically likely to reoffend, basically. I mean, in a short version. Likely
right.
to reoffend.
I get it.
So level 3 is the max, right? The max. So this level 3 person doesn't want to be a level 3 anymore because they feel whatever. They appeal. Now they're removed from that said registry where we have their picture, outside in the lobby, and, anyone in the neighborhood can look up, which sex offender lives in the neighborhood. Now that's removed. Now that person's removed. That person now is unclassified. So we will not know, and the public will not know, that the dangerous sex offender that lives right next door is unclassified now, and they don't know who it is.
I want to know who actually had the thought of making that happen. Who actually sat back and said, you know what? This is a good idea.
I'll tell you, it's a good idea, fairy.
Right. It's the good idea fairy.
Yeah.
Right? But think about it. Break it down.
Yeah.
Somebody actually had that fucking thought.
Yeah.
That said, we're going to do that. We're going to remove them from the registry list.
Yeah.
Just because.
Because they appealed their status.
Just because there's an appeal.
Yeah.
I get it if they appeal it and they win it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Then they get reclassified to
absolutely.
whatever. But why remove them? There's a reason why they're there.
There's the disconnect, bro. That's what I'm talking about. And is that what you mean by the devil?
Yeah.
Convincing that he does exist?
Yeah.
And does that mean people know that he exists and willfully bring in, and we're not saying the devil is in like the creature in the underworld, and we're talking about the
Hades.
bad. Right. My people again.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the bad.
The bad.
Right?
Yeah,
we're allowing it. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, that we are definitely we're complicit. Now, we as cops, we went forward and fought the registry over this stupid policy. And guess what? Oh, hell yeah.
I don't remember that.
I mean, we fought. I mean, I remember my PD from the top down, to include the sex offender registrar, who's a police officer, went before the board. And
deaf ears.
And exactly.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised one bit.
And you know what? It goes into my my other thing that I talked about, which I'll get to it right now, just kind of towards the end. But you know what? Let me wait till we go through this, then I'll circle back.
Are you back on the second part here?
Yeah. So
sex offender registry. Evil person.
Evil person loves to see these types of laws and policies pass. They will, and I have seen it used to advantage. We had people in our city, sex offenders, purposely appeal because they knew they get removed from the registry. I mean, that shit, it spread like wildfire.
Oh, it's like the drug dealers knowing where the cops aren't. Like, it's going to spread. It's intel.
Well, here it is. I remember watching this documentary on Netflix. It was kind of like Drug Inc., but it was like the Netflix version.
Yeah.
And it was it was talking about the drug issue plaguing Baltimore. Now, this is post-Ferguson, so I remember watching this drug dealer talking about who sells multi-kilo fentanyl in the Baltimore area. Multi-kilo.
That's a lot of money and a lot of fucking a lot of fentanyl.
A lot of fentanyl. So when you're talking multi-kilo, you're talking every single person in Baltimore, if that was dropped from the air and spread in the air,
everybody's dead.
Everyone's dead.
Right.
Multi-kilo fentanyl. He said in his interview with whomever was interviewing him on Netflix, he said that when Baltimore got rid of plainclothes officers, the drug trade became that much easier.
It's not brain fucking surgery.
No,
right?
no. He loved it. He said his business flourished.
Yeah. Thank you, Baltimore.
Because he didn't have to worry about undercovers or plainclothes officers rolling up on him. You could see a marked cruiser coming a mile away.
So why aren't we speaking out about this shit?
Thing is, from my experience so far, we have.
Yeah.
But it all falls on deaf ears.
Why isn't the public?
I think the media drowns it out.
The media is drowning it out.
I really think so. I think the media drowns it out.
Well, it's not going to sell, right? Doing the right thing is not going to sell.
Oh, hell no.
Talking about these things isn't going to sell.
Mm-mm.
Like, we need to, it's top down.
Yes.
Right? We need to make sure that the politicians know exactly what's really going on in the street.
Exactly.
You need to call your politicians and show them those documentaries.
Yes.
And say, look, you have a drug dealer that has multi-kilo fentanyl that can kill every single person within 30 square miles here, dropped from a fucking plane, right?
Yeah.
Why are we taking out plainclothes officers?
Yeah.
Just arbitrarily making fucking decisions because they think they know better. How many times have I said that?
Oh, yeah.
They think they know better.
Well, they hear the loudest person in the room,
yeah.
which is usually not the smartest, not the...
Right.
Well, not I shouldn't say usually. Usually more like disconnected with the job, with reality, with what really goes on the streets. And you know, again, evil people will use knee-jerk policies to their advantage.
Of course.
They will use it and they will abuse it and they will use it and abuse it.
But think about how serious this is, right? Drugs is serious. I'm not saying it's not serious.
Yep.
But think about how serious it is with the sex offender stuff.
Yeah.
We're not talking about somebody that pulled out his dong to fucking pee on the corner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're talking about like bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like child molesters.
Yeah.
That are taking advantage of these things.
Yeah.
That are standing in line behind you when you're with your son and daughter at the fucking store and are staring at your little girl's butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the reality of it.
That's the reality. And that, if somebody wants to record that line of what I just said, record it, or I'll record it and send it to your local politicians because that's fucking reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And when these types of policies get created, like the reclassification and, you know, getting pulled out of the registry because you are in the appeal status, and you know as well as I do, any sort of appeals take months to years before they are seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you have 100,000 people in the appeals board overseeing cases. You have a handful, maybe. And when these appeals are being looked at, one at a time, or two at a time, three at a time, however it works, guess what? The guy or gal who's living down the street that went to reclassify him or herself now gets to freely roam, go to public parks, go to pools.
Standing in line behind you.
Because since they are no longer classified, they are not obligated to follow the rules of the cities when we say sex offenders are not allowed to go to parks and recreational facilities that have kids, whatever. Guess what? Now they're not classified. Guess what they're doing? They're swimming with your sons and daughters in the pool. You know, they're going to the playgrounds, being that creepy dude who is filming your kids.
But it's okay because it's not. I'm being facetious, right?
Yeah.
But how many times have you heard? Again, it's going back to the devil, right? To the bad, to the evil, and we're accepting it. We're willfully fucking accepting it. This isn't like a praise Jesus channel, right? But we're willfully accepting the evil. We know that these people cannot be rehabilitated.
No.
That they have a fucking mental issue.
Yeah.
Right? But there are Facebook pages out there. There are movements that are trying to classify people like sex offenders as not even a mental illness, as a sexual preference.
That's, what do you call them? NAMBLA, whatever the fuck they're called, the National Association of Man-Boy
Love or something like that.
Shit. Yeah.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
5 years ago, we had heard about those organizations and been like, wow, they're fucking batshit.
Yeah.
And 9 out of 10 people would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
Now it's accepted.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
And now, all of a sudden, it's, but why? What is it? Why are we accepting this? I'm not saying we, me, and you.
Yeah.
Why as a
society.
whole?
Why is society accepting it? Because the silent majority is silent. And
the silent majority is silent. The emptiest can is rattling the fucking most.
Yep.
Making the most noise, and the politicians am I wrong, are scared.
Yeah.
Are scared of standing up and saying to these people, no, we're not going to remove child molester from the registry because he appealed.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exactly it. And why? I mean, here's the thing, though, like what drove me crazy about that, especially about that.
You're getting me amped up, dude.
Well, we'll check your blood pressure after. Deep breaths. Woosah. See, my heart rate's still good, dude. I'm nice and mellow. Magnesium.
I need to hydrate too.
So, anyway, so you know, I here's the thing. Actually, let's bring this one up.
Yep.
Minneapolis. What's happening in Minneapolis right now? Right.
Clusterfuck.
Right.
A total clusterfuck. What happened? It was a knee-jerk reaction after the incident that happened. We're not here to judge that incident.
Yep.
It was a knee-jerk reaction.
Yep.
All these experts, quote unquote, oh, we need to reform. We need to this. We need to that. From one fucking instance.
Yep.
When they were saying, oh, it's not one instance. We came out with FBI statistics.
Yeah.
We said, hold on a second. Okay, we get what you're trying to say.
Yep.
But here's the numbers. Here's the real fucking
the real
numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Did the media do anything with that?
Oh,
No.
hell no.
Because if it shut down the narrative, they wouldn't have sold fucking airtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So
Exactly.
what did they start doing?
Oh, they exploded it.
Defunding.
Yeah, and defund the police all of a sudden became the slogan.
So they started cutting units.
Yeah.
They started cutting personnel. People started quitting. They were like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
We don't need your type of cops.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They started bringing the social workers in. They started getting stabbed.
Yeah.
They started getting assaulted.
How about that what do you call the PSA, the public safety announcement that they put out about being strong arm robbery? Make sure you give them the stuff.
Just give it to them.
Like,
right.
what kind of
Your wife is with your kid and is getting fucking robbed. I get it. Throw the shit down and run away.
Yeah.
Right? Why would some people, we don't want them engaging these assholes.
Yeah.
Let us engage them.
Exactly.
But there's no us.
No, there is no us. There's a reason why they said that.
Right.
They put that out because
Right.
there wasn't any police.
Right.
And now what is Minneapolis doing now?
They're, oh, sorry, we fucked up.
Yeah.
They're burning, dude. The whole fucking city is burning.
Well, didn't the city council approve like a $6.4 million push to recruit new police officers or something like that?
So you're a Minneapolis cop, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you guys have done over there, by the way.
For those who are still there.
For those who are still there, even the ones that said, you know what, fuck it, we don't want any part of this anymore, we get it.
Yeah.
We totally get it.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've gone through much less and we're still at that fucking point.
Yeah.
But who's going to go back on the job?
I wish them not the caliber of officers that they would want.
The people that were like, fuck this, we were just abandoned by the top.
Yep.
From the top of the top, from the governor. The governor could have stepped in. I don't even know who the governor is.
Yeah.
The governor could have stepped in. The mayor could have stepped in. The people could have stepped in. And I blame the people too. Why? Because the people were fucking scared of standing up.
Yeah. Well, you know why? Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. They're going to get canceled.
Yeah. If any business or any major influencer or whatever speaks out, you know what? You're automatically racist, bigot, whatever.
Yeah.
And you are no longer welcome.
Well, just think about that, man. That's fucking giving up.
Yeah.
Get on your knees.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. People did get on their knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they would come up to you and say, get on your knees. And people would be like, okay, I'm going to get on my knees. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen things that I've never thought I'd see, and it's crazy to me. I mean, it goes to actually. I write it right here. These situations remind me of the movie Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino.
Good movie.
Al Pacino plays the devil, and Keanu is his son, and they were both lawyers, and the devil wanted to release as many evil people into the world so he can turn the world into hell.
Yes. Well, that's exactly what's going on.
I mean, I go back to saying Hollywood had a point.
It's like The Simpsons almost. It's fucking, you know how The Simpsons is like, dude, people aren't getting what we're inviting into our backyards.
Oh, no, they're not. They don't know what they're inviting into their backyards. They don't get it.
Here's one that you probably don't know, right? It kind of fits into the Minneapolis thing. There's a small town in upstate New York.
Yep.
It's a small town. It's a big college town, though. There's a lot of people there.
Okay.
Ithaca, New York. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
When kids aren't there, it's like fucking nobody's there.
Yeah.
When kids are there, it's like Boston. It's fucking big.
Yeah.
Right? over the last 3-4 years, their mayor, I have no problem fucking calling him out on it, has done absolutely nothing for the police department. And I've been there. I've met a lot of the cops there, stand-up guys and girls, right, that want to do their jobs.
Yeah.
Okay? They started the whole defunding thing. When there was no issues in their city's dynamic. Yeah. They started the whole defunding thing. So now, this was probably last week, he introduces bills that they're going to literally wipe out half the police department. Okay, listen to this shit. They're going to wipe out half the police department. They're going to make a new unarmed department. Okay? And then the ones that want to stay armed have to go through retraining. So if I'm shitbag Joe, in this transition, what am I going to do? Goes back to what you said in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I'm going to start dealing more drugs, bro. I'm going to start fucking breaking into your house more.
Oh, yeah. There's no repercussions, really.
And I know that the armed police department is only going to respond to violent crimes. Mm-hmm. So when you think about that, break that down, violent crimes. Mm-hmm. Breaking into your house isn't a violent crime. Mm-hmm. So when I'm at home and I call 911, IPD is going to show up and they're not going to be a police officer.
No, it's not going to be a cop. It's going to be a security guard.
Right. Or not even. Some security guards are armed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Evil people will gravitate towards Ithaca, New York.
Right.
Turn it into a hub.
Of course.
Whether drug dealing, whether mob related, whether whatever.
But just think about it, right? Yeah. It's not only just Ithaca, Boston, whose Boston's population is nothing when the kids aren't here.
Yeah.
How many colleges and universities do we have, right?
Don't we have?
There's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, there's tons.
Right? So September, August comes along, our population triples.
Yeah, it does. It
right?
gets bad.
So what's going to happen then? Because all these kids are here, their moms and dads are in Wisconsin or California or New York. And they're sitting there and saying, okay, yeah, Boston should defund.
This actually reminds me of this one scenario, this one situation I had working in Boston, plainclothes. I go into a 7-Eleven right Huntington Ave, Northeastern.
Oh, yeah.
7-Eleven right over there.
Very well.
Yeah. So me and my partner, we go in there, grab a couple Gatorades, and as we're making our way to the cashier, there's this kid up front, drunk as a skunk, being a complete asshole to the cashier, to everybody in the store. He was just an asshole.
Yeah.
So we broke our cover. Badges came out, badged him, and said, "Hey, let's go. Let's take a walk."
Yeah.
So we had, I mean, the kid was a Northeastern student. I don't even remember his name or anything like that, but he's from frickin' some rural Pennsylvania town.
Right.
And you know, like me and my partner, we pointed out to him, I'm like, do you realize where the fuck you're at?
Right.
Like, know where you're at, dude. You're not back home.
But there's the thing, right? It's that numbness that people are living in.
Yeah.
They just don't understand. It goes back to mom and dad are sending their kid from upstate New York to the big city.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't have any idea.
Oh, no.
The parents are going after the police department.
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
Defund.
Yeah. Not my kid.
Well, yeah. The kids don't know any better because they're DK half the time. They're drunk half the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have to clean it up.
Yeah.
Imagine when we can't. Minneapolis.
Yeah. I mean, again, that whole idea of order and chaos, right? That thin blue line, which is not white supremacy. God, I don't know how many times I got like.
Okay, well, since we're talking about the devil, right?
Yeah.
And we've convinced ourselves to let him in.
Yeah.
Why is the thin blue line racist?
I wish I knew. I don't know.
It fucking boggles my mind. I've heard it.
I haven't seen one piece of shred of evidence that points the thin blue line to white supremacy or hatred or racism or whatever.
So let me ask you a question. Are there black cops that wear the thin blue line?
Yeah.
Are there Hispanic cops that wear the thin blue line?
Yes.
These people need to take a long walk off a fucking short pier, dude.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
No,
dude, what's next, Iman, right? What's next?
Actually, Potato Head.
Potato Head. You know what? I'm going to mention it right here for the first time. Mr. Potato Head. Yeah. We're calling him Mr. Is that okay with you?
Good to go.
And when and if and when Mr. Potato Head gets taken off the shelves, you can buy a brand new Mr. Potato Head from Project Sapient.
Yeah.
We'll make millions.
Yeah, I know, right? It'll be vintage.
Think about it, though. We're inviting the devil in. How many people hear that and they're like, huh, that's funny. Huh.
But here's the thing, the way people think of it. Again, we always say small things compound to big things, right? Mr. Potato Head or whatever they want to call him now. Yeah, it might be a small minor detail in our society and all that, happy and everyone's happy and unicorns are flying around and all that. But small things compound to big things. I'm not saying I have no problem again with the gender, whatever, the gays, lesbians, all that stuff. I could care less.
Do whatever you want. Be whoever you want.
Be whoever you want. But when you want to impose and force it,
don't force it down my throat.
Here's the thing, right? Radical Islam.
Yeah.
Or radical Christianity, radical Judaism, whatever. When they come in to whatever. Right, let's say in radical Islam, right? Because that's an easy one. And
you have very much experience with it.
I have a lot of experience with it. You will think like me, or you will die.
Convert or die. Right.
Convert or die. That's it.
The Christians did it too.
Yeah. And that's it.
Right.
How about why don't we take it to see what we're doing now?
Right.
Society. These extremists, I will call them.
Yeah.
Oh, you will accept gender neutrality, or you will be destroyed.
Exactly.
Like. Since when has it been forced down our throats?
That's the problem.
This is the idea. A free society means we have freedom of opinion, freedom of speech, freedom of whatever.
Short of you screaming fire in a fucking theater, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Pretty much. Why is it now being forced down our throats? I mean, I know we're getting a little off topic here, but
no, it's not. It's on topic. It's allowing the devil in.
Exactly. It's allowing the devil. Now, I'm not saying gays are the devil or anything like that.
No, not at all.
What I'm saying, what we're saying is this idea that things need to be forced. Knee-jerk reactions, forced.
Exactly. Because, dude, how wrong am I when I say it? Tell me if I'm wrong, Amman. People get behind some of these bandwagons because they're scared.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, again, they're afraid of getting called out. They're
exactly.
afraid of getting called out for racist.
That's
what
I mean.
I got you. And it boggles my mind.
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
I know people. I know people that read that and were like, wow, that is fucking stupid.
Oh, no, I mean, how many memes did I send you about Mr.
We got to talk about that. Amman has a problem.
Just if I ever get arrested, I got to delete my phone.
Delete. Oh shit! Oops.
Yeah, right.
Delete.
Yeah.
But we're allowing that. We've seen the devil, right?
Yeah.
The devil. It's the ultimate control. It's kind of like, it's a very true thing. This isn't very racist or anything, right? The Jews knew that the Nazis were putting them in fucking trains, but refused to believe it.
Yeah.
I challenge anyone to find any historical evidence that isn't true. I've seen it a million times. It's kind of extreme, but we're kind of there. We're allowing it.
Yeah.
They're not going to take us to the gas chamber. Well, fucking A, they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how some businesses went out of business because, the owner said something and all of a sudden it turned into this big bash, this big political bash or whatever it is. And it actually brings me to one thing you brought up, brings me to a point talking about Mr. Potato Head and the amount of media coverage that got. I mean, holy crap. It was in our face.
The Mr. Potato Head thing?
Yeah. Yeah. It was in our face like crazy.
Well, it was that in Tiger Woods.
Well, yeah, well, deal with that
anyway. But still.
Yeah.
But that's what the media was pushing, right?
Yeah. Big time.
Think about it this way. And tell me if I'm wrong. Again, I could be very wrong in a lot of these things, but I don't think I am. I'm just trying to come out, and we agreed when we're going to do Project Sapient, we're just going to say it as it is. Well, right?
That's the idea. That's the way we are. If we don't, who's going to?
Nobody's doing it, so that's why we're doing it. But let's break it down for people that may be listening to this and don't agree with us.
Yeah.
Okay? And if this makes sense to you, reach out to us, and I will call your politicians, and I will call the people that are driving these fucking trains of disaster.
Yep.
Right? Break it down in the general sense of the street cop dealing with the street criminal.
Yeah.
When you don't draw a line to the street criminal, what does he do?
Give him an inch, take a mile.
Exactly.
That's it.
When you don't sometimes you can let them go because you need to play politics, right?
Yeah.
You need to, gauge your situation.
Give and take.
Exactly. There's a little give and take.
Yeah.
But if he knows he can keep getting away with more, it's kind of like a kid.
Oh, well, we're seeing it now.
Right? Exactly.
We're seeing it now.
When you don't draw the line and say, hey, Hasbro, whoever the fuck you are, Mr. Potato Head idea is really stupid.
Yeah. Who came up with that?
Who came up with that?
Yeah.
Who in your organization came up with that and who fucking approved it?
Yeah.
When that line gets drawn where anybody can make a monstrous decision like that, what's next?
Here's what's funny.
What's
right?
next?
Here's what's funny, right? Mr. Potato. As a kid, I had Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, and I used
How dare you?
I know. I used to change all their faces all the time to mix them up.
Yeah.
That way Mr. Potato Head is all of a sudden a female.
Has lipstick on.
Has lipstick on. Like to me it was, funny and
Right.
I was having fun with it
Right.
and all that. And I didn't care, because I was having fun. It wasn't because, this is Mr. Potato Head, so therefore that's a male and that's all I'm going to see him as.
Right.
It's a fucking toy.
It's a toy.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
To me, do whatever.
Yeah.
I got to do whatever with Mr. Potato Head because I got a freaking sick mind. So I was freaking.
I've seen pictures. Guys, you don't want to see this shit.
No. Indictments will come forth.
Fucking medication. But no, you're right, dude. You're totally fucking right. Like, we've become, I hate to use the word, we've become pussies as a society.
Oh, yeah.
We really have.
Yeah. And here's the thing, though. You saying us talking like this and everything. We're not, again, like this Project Sapient, we're not political. We're not left, right. We're not anything. We just say it how it is, how we see it as cops on the streets and see the ramifications of these bullshit policies that come out because of a knee-jerk reaction, and we see how society crumbles as a result.
With no basis of knowledge.
No basis, exactly, with no basis of knowledge. We have to keep ourselves up to date with laws and procedures. And every fucking day we get a new case law that comes down that we got to frickin' read and we got to go over and it's changed and this has changed and this car stop was bad because the cop didn't do this, therefore that changed. So we deal with it all the time. Now, society, though, doesn't see it. They go about their business, their jobs, whatever respective work they do, whatever they deal with, whatever. They don't see society as through the lens of a cop.
They see it through the lens of an Instagram fucking feed.
Yeah.
Because this little tiny fucking device takes up 75% of our time.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And what's the devil? Is it social media? Is it the media in general? We know the media.
Yeah.
But is it social media or is it ourselves for allowing it?
Oh, I think it's society as a whole.
As a whole.
For allowing it.
Well, there's certain things that I'm not going to allow, right? And people that know me know that if I'm in line at fucking Dunkin' Donuts and something's going on, I'm going to open my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And people look at me like I have 10 heads when I say, hey, that was really stupid.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep your mouth shut? Why don't I keep my mouth shut?
Yeah.
Okay, what's next then?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the whole thing. Like with radicalism, whatever
that's what I'm
religion. Yeah. If you don't think like me, you will die.
Well, it started with, if you don't think like me, you're evil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
From both sides.
Yeah,
from the Christians and the right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you don't think like me, you're evil.
Yeah.
And then one picked up a fucking sword and said, well, nobody stopped me.
Yeah.
So if you don't think like me, I'm going to cut you.
Yeah.
A couple of people may have fought.
Yeah.
The rest were like, fuck, I don't want to get cut.
Exactly.
I'll convert.
Yeah.
Look at my people, the Greeks.
Yeah.
They eventually turned around after 400 years of slavery that ended in the 1800s, right? You want to talk about slavery, ended in the 1800s. They eventually fucking gathered the willpower to fight off the Ottoman Empire with pitchforks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they allowed it.
But again, is society in the United States or in the world or whatever, are they going to keep allowing it to the point where we're going to have to fight back with pitchforks?
But there's the issue, right? And it comes back to what you're talking about, the small things that we're noticing that are building to the big things. The last presidential election.
Yeah.
During the election, the president of the United States got censored off of television.
Yeah.
If Joe Biden got censored today, I'll make it clear, I didn't vote for Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
But if he got censored,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be rip shit.
Yeah.
We're allowing the little thing. When I saw that censorship, a bunch of my friends were like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
A president of the United States got censored.
Yeah.
Why wasn't the country up in arms?
Well, again, it goes into those, as a whole, as the United States, we're a free society. Censorship is one of those touchy little issues because we have a U.S. Constitution that is very clear.
Yeah.
So when you start to censor people, whether you agree, disagree, or think he's batshit crazy, the censorship is an issue because now it opened up Pandora's box.
Right. Who else are they going to censor?
Exactly.
They're going to censor Amman. They're going to censor Peter, who turns around and says, I don't like this Mr. Potato Head thing.
Well, it's gonna turn into, Ayman and Peter are both racists, and even though Ayman has African cousins and relatives and family, but he is racist.
Yeah.
Pete's racist because he's from Europe and he's Greek, and they're always racist.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what it'll turn into.
But you know what? I mean, we know the truth, right? We know the truth. We know we're not racist.
Yeah.
We know our heritage. We know our backgrounds, our friends, all that stuff.
Yep.
Right? In fact, if you are a racist, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, that reminds me. I go, respond to a neighborhood and doing neighborhood canvas, knock talk neighborhood, neighbors, see, hey, what did you witness, see anything, blah, blah, doing usual investigative type stuff. My guys knock on this one door, and this dude's got Confederate flags everywhere and blah, 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 and all that happy horse shit. And unprovoked or not even asked, this guy tells my guys, I'm not racist to the blacks. I'm like, whoa. I was like,
go on. Body camera's on. Go on.
I was like, you're not racist to the blacks.
Yeah. What does that mean?
No, you're fucking racist.
Right. You just hate one, you hate another group, but you don't hate the other?
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to say?
I have no idea. Just the way he that phrase to me, the blacks. Right. I don't hate the blacks. You know what, fucker? Yes, you do.
Yeah, you just proved to me.
You just proved to me. You didn't even have to get into it any longer.
He also probably thought you were black.
Well, yeah, I'm brown skinned, dark skinned, and I have family that are African, but not too many people know that.
Right.
Other than you and some close friends of mine.
Right.
So yeah, he saw a brown guy knocking on his door.
You got scared.
Automatically assumed that I was probably there for the Confederate flags, even though I wasn't even there for that.
Right.
And right away, again, unprovoked or whatever, I didn't even broach that subject whatsoever. I don't hate the blacks. Like,
he was scared.
What?
He was projecting his own, he was like, oh, let me get ahead of this.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
He gave himself up, which a lot of criminals like to fucking do.
Oh, my God, big time. I mean, it was, again, though, as a society, are we going to continue to allow shit like that?
Right.
Because we're scared.
Yeah, we are. And that's the problem. That comes back to your article.
Yeah.
The devil convinced everybody that he exists, and we willfully brought it in.
Well, I mean, I end it with this. Police have their hands tied to what they can or can't do. Yep. Politicians creating knee-jerk reaction policies that are enabling the evil in this world to come out of hiding and embed themselves in society. That same evil, call it the devil, has convinced the world he doesn't exist.
It's everything that we've been talking about, dude. Seriously, break it down.
Yeah.
We don't have the balls. We don't have the gall to stand up to a lot of things. And if we don't do that, if we don't stand up, what's next?
No. Here's the thing. As cops, right, we stand up to shit every single day.
Right.
That's just the nature of our job.
Right.
We stand up for the little guy. We stand up for the little girl. We stand up for, the victim. We go after the bully. We go after the predator. We go after everybody. Whomever is meaning to do harm in society.
Whoever's threatening that line of order.
Exactly. That's what is that thin blue line of police officers.
Yep.
Between order and chaos. And that thin line, ladies and gentlemen, is getting thinner and thinner.
It
and
really
thinner.
is.
And you know what? It's going to get overrun by the chaos if you continue to stay silent and allow things to happen.
So think about it with all the injustices that everybody's been protesting, right?
Yeah.
I know, I might be wrong again, but I know there's just the same amount of people that were protesting that can easily protest that all this bullshit is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But they won't.
No.
They're not going to.
They won't. They hide behind their computers as frickin' comment rangers or whatever they want.
That screen gives them a level of protection.
Again, it's funny to me that screen has also brought out some of the most insane, extreme people I've ever read. I mean, sometimes when I read the comments, I drool a lot because the IQ level of people is so bad that I'm like, dude.
You see the end of the name, PhD. What the fuck?
Yeah, what PhD in what?
In what?
Fuck. Learn grammar first of all, or whatever. But it's like, I mean, I'm part of this one Facebook group now, completely not so much about this, but this one guy posts and says,
Mr. Potato Head Love.
No. he posts. It's a gym group. It's a bunch of dads in this group or whatever. But one kid posted, "Hey guys, what are your thoughts on creatine? I don't want any science, just want facts."
What?
Exactly.
Try again, dude.
Yeah, literally, that's what everybody said. It turned into a trash talk towards this individual because that's probably one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. But to me, like, I laughed because I'm like, dude, that right there
shows you the mentality.
What's wrong with society?
Yeah.
And that right there is a guy who's allowed to vote.
We've numbed up as a society.
Yeah.
We've made those voters.
Yeah.
That they will be swayed.
Yeah. Oh, fuck science.
Right.
I just want to know facts.
Right. But
what the fuck?
Even as, like, I'm a science geek.
Yeah.
Right. But I look at science and I'm like, well, science is one of those things. It's like a practice. Like, things change in science. Theory. Yeah. Exactly. The laws of the universe suddenly are fucking upside down with quantum mechanics. So I keep like an open view of things.
Yeah.
But that's the point. Let me accept the science. Let me read into it. Let me make my decision.
Scientific method, right? The research, the hypothesis. You build the hypothesis. You test it. You get the results. Oh, it didn't work. All right, let me go back to square one. Try something else.
Right.
That is science right there. And this is what's going on. These policies, right? Let's take it into the scientific method, right? Did they test it? They came up with the theory.
Yeah.
Well, if we do this, this will happen. Okay, let's test that theory. You got the hypothesis. Did you test it? Okay, you tested it. Did it work? Oh, it worked? Okay, great. Now let's implement it.
Yeah.
Did you think any of that really happened?
No.
Well,
it brings it back to this whole defund the police bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Some fucking genius out there is, let's get less police officers on the street. Yeah. Right? Test it. Take 5 guys out of your patrol out of a certain sector and see what happens that Friday night.
Here's the thing.
There's your test. There's your scientific method.
Here's the thing. People like to bring back, England, their cops aren't armed. They have an armed division, blah, 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 blah. But they've been like that as a society for hundreds of years.
Exactly.
Hundreds.
Yep.
Our society, we're still babies.
Of course.
We're like 300 years old. So people like me and you from Europe and from the Middle East, we are thousands of years old. And we laugh at some of the shit that goes on here because you know what? Yeah, America, you're a baby.
Yeah.
You're
a toddler.
You're still an experiment.
Right.
And the experiment is getting worse and worse and worse.
It's like the whole gun theory, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were created on firearms.
Yeah.
Like, what's the number? Is it 2 firearms for every man, woman, and child in the country or something like that?
Yeah, something like
and
that.
Trillions of bullets, which I was bitching to you the other day about. I can't find any fucking ammo anywhere.
Yeah.
Thank God I have a storage, but whatever. But, like, that's how we were created.
Yeah.
All right? Like, old England, when they dropped the swords and, slicing people's heads off for fucking looking at the king the wrong way, when they dropped that, there was no weaponry.
No.
Like, this country was created under the gun.
Yeah.
So you can't take that away.
Exactly. And you know what? Whether you disagreed with the way this country was formed, whatever, that's a whole separate discussion.
Yeah.
But that's the way we were made. That's the way it was created. That's the way we police. That's the way we military.
Yes.
That's the way we are. We are a free thinking society.
Well, That's the other thing too, Hyman, right? The United States is just such a mix of different people.
Yeah.
Right? The dynamics from Boston to Providence change between those 50 miles.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Your city polices a little bit differently than my city.
Yeah.
And so that's what a lot of people don't understand about this country.
No. Yeah, one thing, like when I was overseas in Iraq, one thing the Iraqis, the Iraqi army and the Iraqi police never understood about the U.S. military or the U.S. as a whole. Like in my squad, just my squad alone, there was, white, black, Asian, there was Hispanic.
Were they like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I asked them, I would tell them, I'm like, look at just the squad alone.
Yeah.
Different cultures, different religions.
Yep.
Different height, different size, different whatever. But you know what? We all work together because for America.
Well, there was a patch on your shoulder that made
Exactly.
you, right.
But that's something they could not understand because to them, their tribe is their tribe, and that tribe next door, fuck them because we've been fighting them for 500 years.
And just because,
Just because,
right.
We may have no idea what our ancestors did,
Yeah.
but I know I'm supposed to hate them.
So let me ask you a question. As much, forget your background in the area.
Yeah.
As a U.S. soldier, could you have changed the dynamic of how Village A fights Village B?
Oh, fuck no.
There's nothing you can do.
Nothing. Absolutely
Dudes
nothing.
in sandals with 50-year-old AKs, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that the powerhouse military can do.
Nope. They've been that way for thousands of years.
So we think fucking backyard Becky,
Yeah.
who's got a fucking political science degree, is going to tell us how to fucking change policing in the United States?
Yeah, please come on a ride along with me and with myself and Pete, and we will talk all about that. Now that
Fucking
Pete's
dude.
blood pressure is at
Nah,
100,
give me something to
over
lift.
100.
Give me something to break. Guys, I'm sorry about that. I have to talk to my therapist about these things. I want to thank HavokJournal.com.
Yeah,
I want to
absolutely.
thank GymJunkies.com, VectorShields.com, WellnessForWarriors.live. Guys, you need to reach out to them if you have any kind of issues, sleeping issues, nutrition, anything at all.
Yeah, reach out to
They
those
are
guys.
a godsend. WellnessForWarriors.live. LiveBoston617.org. Friends of ours. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for everything. And I'm an awesome article, bro.
Rock on.
You're the man. We'll talk to you guys. See
you
ya.
guys.